Mental health well-being is really important, but talking about it is, as we all know, not very easy. We want to break down stigma and create space for real conversations that show that mental health is just as important as physical health. And so with that, let's get started.
My experience with mental health was non-existent at first, and going through my later adult years, I'm currently in recovery for alcohol and I'm an addict as well.
I'm the first generation here in the United States. I grew up in Mexico, and then yeah, I think one of my biggest challenge on my mental is when I first moved to here. So I don't speak the language, and then I can't move to myself here. No people, no family.
Mental health wasn't really a discussion when I was growing up. You essentially learn to just be strong, be quiet, and pray about it.
For me, I think for me, mental health wasn't a thing. It's either unknown or doesn't exist, especially in my family, my culture.
Where you hear maybe the term, hey, man up. What sense do you have when you hear that term?
Growing up, it was always, I feel like my dad only had two emotions. He was either withdrawn or mad. So when I hear man up, it just, it brings it back a little bit of trauma, but it also is something that I don't think we need to continue anymore because there's so many personal definitions about what a masculine person could be. Like being told to man up was like, I'm a disgrace to my culture and my family.
But can you talk a little bit about what unique mental health challenges you as an individual faced and how much of that was driven by the culture you either came up or the environment or where you grew up?
As kids, we'd be compared to others. It's definitely a high standard that we have to make our parents happy, but at the same time, it's most of the time they don't understand what happy is. They think happy is through what they see through a TV show, what they see through a magazine. That's what their happy is because that's what their introduction to the culture is here now.
I grew up in a church culture where everybody pretended to be perfect when we as children knew that everyone wasn't. And what it taught me was that it was not okay to not be okay.
Then go a little further on that and just talk about what kind of advice would you give someone who's struggling with their mental well-being?
I'd first reiterate that it's okay to not be okay, which is kind of the opposite that it sounded like we're raised in. And that there's so many opportunities and groups and programs to help any, sort of mental health need. But I would also advise take little steps. For me, I set myself too high of expectations so that if I didn't achieve them, I would kind of get disappointed and get back wrapped into a shame cycle or my use or of substance use.
I think there has to be this place where we come to a place of growth and development where we love ourselves and love others in healthy ways that begin to dispel some of the fears that we've been taught, that some of those fears that just guide our choices and our decisions. So love, I think, is the path that we need to learn.
I'd say honesty. A big step for me with recovery and just in general for my mental health has been being honest, one, to myself and saying and acknowledging hey, this is situation, it's not okay for you and it's not what you want. And it's okay to set boundaries with people, even though it might seem scary to get someone bad news or give someone direction that may offend them. But you got to look out for yourself. And if it's being honest to yourself, the rest really follows suit. And then you can be honest with others. And I can't imagine anyone not appreciating that.
Hang out with people who protect your peace. We have so many times we have friends that we care about, but they create chaos in our life. And you said peace, hang out with people who protect your peace. Yeah.
Conversations like this are extremely important, and I think the more people that can both be involved in it, hear and hear what you fine gentlemen have been certainly sharing. It's just really, really important. So let's keep the conversations going with our families, our circles, our communities. And I thank you all for being so open and sharing your own experiences here for this conversation.